So this is year 34 for me in Division I softball, and it's the first time I've been to Norman. So I'm very glad that it's at this field and not the other one. But really excited to get to play the Sooners again. We have great respect for Patty, who I've known for 35 years, their program, their fans, their facility, and their administration, because they've done a great job supporting women's athletics at OU. And it's very, very honorable to me that they're doing that the way they do it. And I know for the young ladies, this is a great opportunity for us. We have just gotten better and better and better as the season went along. And it's kind of a theme of ours where we always say the best is yet to come. And where you're at in life, whether you're older, younger, in the middle, the best is yet to come. And I firmly believe that in everything, and we can't wait to start playing.
Questions, raise your hand. We'll kind of pass around the mic. We'll start with you.
Yeah, Patrick, it's great to talk to you. Last night we had a chance to talk to Patty, and I think most people think you and Patty square off and fight every time and throw punches at each other and everything.
No.
But she talked about how much respect she had for you and what you've done for not only Alabama but softball. And we talked about what her relevance has meant to softball and things like that. So what do you think of Coach Gasso, and what is that relationship really like?
I mean, it's been since 1990. I was the assistant coach at Louisiana Lafayette, which was southwestern Louisiana then, and we went recruiting. My boss was Yvette Girard, who's in about 8 Hall of Fames, and she was friends with Patty, and Patty was the head coach at Long Beach City Community College in California. And she had a really good pitcher, and we ended up getting her. And we just became friends, that way. And then a couple years later, she gets the job at Oklahoma, and we knew who she was. A lot of people were like, Long Beach City Community College. And she has taken this program, obviously, to a gold standard. And, I mean, everything about it, the fans, the players, the way they play. It's always been a respectful rivalry. It's never been a dirty rivalry. And I think our girls as well respect their players. And this is what college sports is all about. Truly it is. And this is one of the last sports where you can just play for the love of the game. And I think you're going to see that all weekend from both teams.
Yeah, Patrick, sort of along those lines, I want to ask you about your impressions of the job that Patty has done specifically this year with the turnover in roster and everything. What maybe stands out to you the most about the coaching job that she's done this year?
I think, she's got a lot of, they have 5 seniors that were on those 4 years, the 4 championship teams. And to me, when you lose a catcher like Miss Hansen, that's a lot. She's been behind the plate for 4 years. She's probably the best leader on the team. She's the pitcher's best friend, on and on and on about empathy with her players, the whole thing that a catcher brings to a team, and then she graduates. And that's tough. And to lose 5 seniors as well, 5 starters, that's a lot. So what they've done, I know, when they came down to Tuscaloosa, and we took 2 out of 3. I remember she might have been sitting right here at the press conference on Tuesday or Wednesday of that week. And she said something to the fact that the kids weren't ready for that atmosphere. And then she said, they will from now on. And they were. Obviously they won the SEC. So she brings in new players every year, and they just play well. Consistency is one of the toughest things to do in sports, in any sport. And you guys know this. You see a football team win a championship, the next year they're 2-11. Well, what the heck happened? It's not consistent. And obviously consistency has been her name from day one to today.
Then another quick question for Jocelyn and Audrey. There's been a lot of talk around here about how much different OU is since y'all faced off in Tuscaloosa a little bit more than a month ago. How much different do you feel like your team is, and what are some areas of growth that you've seen in your team since that series?
I definitely think the confidence to our team is pretty high. A series like that can definitely give you a lot of confidence, and knowing how we started the season versus where we finished, a lot of the girls can feel confident going into this. And then also like the atmosphere, we have this atmosphere every weekend at Rhodes, so we should be able to feed off of it. And also all of us just really leaning into each other and knowing how consistent Alabama is in the postseason is also something that we can rely on.
Yeah, just from the series, I definitely believe that leading up to that series, we had played many close games, and we just hadn't gotten that one play or one pitch or one strike. And Oklahoma was kind of the first series, everything kind of went our way, and everything fell into place. And so we gained that confidence, and from there, I mean, we went to Florida. We played a few, just phenomenal teams, including Virginia Tech last weekend. And it just showed us that we can show up in the big games. We can get that big out. And like Jocelyn, just confidence and overall just having each other's back. And, knowing that we're playing for our family. We're playing for our lives right now because, you win 2 games and your season's, or you lose 2 games and your season's over.
Yeah, for Coach and for Jocelyn, I'm curious, the last 2 games against Oklahoma, pitching staff only allowed 1 run in both games. What do you feel like was kind of the key to being able to limit their offense like that?
I think the free passes is definitely something that you can look at. It's something that we've struggled with a little bit this year. And what I can remember, I don't think we had many walks. I think maybe 3 or 4 the whole weekend. And I think that definitely can give an offensive boost like Oklahoma, who hits the long ball a lot. If you can limit them to just 1, 2 runs and rather those big blowout innings, and when they hit those home runs, making sure that no one is on base, I think that's key to just limit the damage.
And I think the other thing is defense. We struggled early. And like Audrey said, we lost, I think, 10 games when we were leading in the 6th or 7th. And they were against top 25 RPI teams. So our strength of schedule was great, and we played 30 games against the top 25. I think it was the most in the country. So half our schedule was against top 25. But we challenged them one day at practice, and I said, look, we don't have to cut down every walk and every error because it's going to happen. But let's cut them in half. So if we have 4, we're going to go to 2. If we have 2, we're going to go to 1. And I think the last 12 games, we only have 3 errors. So she doesn't have to go 22, 23, 24 outs. She only has to pitch for 21. We cannot give OU 22, 23 outs in a game because they'll take advantage of it. And that's what they did, in the game that they won in Tuscaloosa. We opened up the door just a little bit, and boom, they score 5 runs in the top of the 7th. Okay, and that's what a really good team does. They take advantage of an opportunity when the other team gives it to them.
And then Audrey, for you, this was obviously a really long time ago, but your brother was committed to play football here at one point. What, if anything, do you, remember about that? Were you part of any visits that he had here? And then what was it like watching his college career play out at Georgia and Kentucky?
Yeah, so I actually came on the visit that he, we came, and then I think a week or 2 later he committed to Oklahoma. And at the time, gosh, who was the head coach? Yes, Lincoln Riley. He was there. I loved him. He was amazing. And he surprised me one day. I think it was Kalani Ricketts. I'm pretty sure. She played here, right? Okay, yeah. Some big name, and I was, starstruck. I don't know how old I was, probably 10 years old. And he surprised me with her, and I was like, oh my gosh. But no, Oklahoma, I've been here twice for his visits and stuff, and they've treated me great. And I was so happy as a little kid to just, be a part of my brother's journey. And, we didn't get what he wanted at Georgia, but he finally got his time in Kentucky, and I'm so proud of him and to see the way he grew and to kind of follow in his footsteps.
He just got engaged, too.
He did, yeah, Saturday.
Patrick, at the beginning of the year, I try to follow softball as hard as I can. I didn't know what to make of your team. You just lost maybe the most iconic pitcher in your history, your program, and several other players too. But you guys have really had a great year. Jocelyn and Riley have both stepped up and been great. But talk about your year, because it's been pretty special, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And nobody has given up. Everybody has eliminated the outside noise. They've done a great job with that, because nowadays that's difficult. And you guys know that too. If you're in college athletics, you see it. And thanks for watching. But they keep working hard. Nobody's given up. They keep their trust in their coaches and their teammates. The support staff has been terrific. It's been a pleasure to coach. We have 20 on the roster, and just a great group of young ladies. And I'm really happy for them. And last week when we beat Virginia Tech in the championship, Nate gives me the box score, and I look down, and the thing right next to Alabama was 4-0, 40 wins. And to me, that's it just feels like a number to strive for. I've never said it out loud before right now, and it was just really cool that this team got 40 wins. It's difficult. Any sport in college athletics is difficult to win. It really is. I don't care who it is. And when you can get to 40 in softball, it's pretty special.
Yeah, Patrick, you talked about this being the first time here in Norman. Just curious about your thoughts so far about Love's Field, and I know y'all obviously play in a great stadium, great atmosphere there, and just your first impressions.
Well, just the grandeur of it is awesome. That's what you love to see. You know, I've been in women's athletics for 37 years. This is what I want to see. It's good for the sport. It's a win-win. It really is. So again, kudos to OU for doing this, and Loves. So, but when you walk in the side, I love the look of the metal in the overhang. It looks like an old-time a minor league baseball park, and that's right here. That's right here. I love that. I was like, the lady from The Natural is going to appear in the stands at one point. Just really cool setting. I know it seems like the ball travels. Would you guys say that?
Yes, sir.
So it's obviously a hitter's park, I think. We'll see. She'll do her job. You know, and they sell tickets. That's awesome. And kudos to the fans. You know, the other thing I was going to say was when we came up here for football, I didn't get to go because I think it was during we were playing fall ball still. But all of my friends and the people in the athletic department, when they came back, oh my God, that was the friendliest fan base we've ever met in the SEC. And obviously it's your first year. But they don't say that about a lot of other schools. So I cannot wait to feel that. So it's a respectful rivalry, and we're going to repay that back to OU fans when they come to Tuscaloosa this fall. And hopefully the OU softball fan or the players felt that from our fans, you know, a month ago. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You guys.